Hey everyone, welcome back to Six Wins. This is Chris, I'm Matt, and today we have some big matchups to talk about. Alright, so these are our two matchups that we're talking about. The first one is number 4, Rey Mysterio versus the number 13, Kevin Nash. And then our other matchup, we just saw a little different actually. We've typically been doing, one-on-one in the polls. Our original matchup was the number 5, Andre the Giant versus number 12, Big Show. Tell us a little bit about how the little twist we threw into this one.
Oh yeah, we had a few superstars that were left off the original bracket.
Yeah.
And we spent a lot of time building the brackets. Go back and watch the actual videos of us making the brackets. But we've looked at the bracket and we were like, okay, there's a few current superstars that would fit into these matchups like perfectly. So we kind of wanted to test that like old school versus new school. And there was not a more perfect matchup to insert Braun Strowman
Right on, yeah.
into. So we figured Andre versus Big Show, Battle of the Giants. So we were like, he would fit perfectly in here. So we actually made this one a triple threat match, which we also did with a couple other matchups down the line. We don't want to spoil it now, but yeah. So we were really excited to test out the triple threat match for this one. For sure.
Yeah. You had mentioned wanting to do that because when you were doing polls, you were like, "Oh, we can actually do 3 choices on Twitter and Instagram."
Yeah.
What do you say to some triple threats? And like, wrestling's the perfect time to introduce like 3 poll options. Triple threat matches are common in wrestling, so perfect time to start one. And maybe we'll throw them into some other brackets and stuff more than just wrestling, but we'll do it for a few first round matchups for sure. Before we talk about our thoughts on these though, another classic question, another recast our wrestlers as characters.
Oh, boy.
And this time we have 5. I was looking up a lot of foursomes.
Okay.
And then realized this one would still work.
Okay.
Because they talked about 4 characters, but there is a 5th. That makes a lot of sense.
Ooh.
So here are your wrestlers. Andre the Giant, the Big Show, Braun Strowman, Kevin Nash, and Rey Mysterio. And you're going to put them into the roles of the characters from The Wizard of Oz. So Dorothy,
Okay.
the Scarecrow,
Okay.
Tin Man, Cowardly Lion, and Toto.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is good. This is good. Okay, so, I'm going Kevin Nash as Dorothy.
Nash as Dorothy.
I'm going Nash as Dorothy because in The Longest Yard, they slipped him a bunch of estrogen, so he played a kind of a woman, and he was like, my nipples hurt, or like he had like mood swings, something you couldn't get away with nowadays probably, but it was hilarious. So Nash as Dorothy. I'm gonna go with the obvious, Rey Mysterio as Toto.
Okay, yeah.
They played off the, I think it was building up to WrestleMania 37, 2021, Shane versus Braun, and Shane kept calling him like a dumb guy, so like the brainless one in Wizard of Oz, it's been a long, long time. Scarecrow. So Strowman is Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Then we got...
So we need a Tin Man and a Cowardly Lion.
Okay.
And you've got Andre and Big Show.
Okay, I'm going Big Show is Cowardly Lion because I feel like I have seen him cry at some point. Couldn't tell you the feud. So that leaves Andre as
the Tin Man.
Tin Man.
Yeah.
That seems.
What would you do with a brain if you had one?
All right, well, there we go. We've got our new Wizard of Oz cast, but now we got to talk about who we were rooting for, who we thought we'd win, who we'd pick, and who won these matchups. Which matchup do you want to talk about first?
Yeah, let's go with the triple threat.
Triple threat, all right.
And like I was excited for this match. I don't know that I have too much to add, although I will say I thought Andre was going to come away with it in a landslide. And we will reveal the winner here shortly, but we did not see a landslide for anyone. It was actually pretty close. It was neck and neck and neck, big thick neck, the thickest necks.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I will say I'm glad they brought Strowman back. I think he's doing solid. Is he gonna be in the main event picture anytime soon? Maybe not, but I think he's great in terms of what he is, and him and Ricochet make a pretty good tag team. I'm wondering because he got in some like hot water because he tweeted something like, "People come to see the big monster, not people do their flippy dippy doodah stuff." And then Ricochet actually tweeted back at him, and at the time people were like, "Oh, Strowman, why are you doing that, you idiot?" But now they're a tag team, so I'm wondering, was that kayfabe or was Strowman Adam Scherer, I think his name is, whatever his real name, was that him playing a character, or was that him just being kind of a jerk in real life? But I am glad to see them as a tag team. I think they're really cool. My pick, it's close. I'm going Andre.
Andre?
Safe bet, but I'm going Andre. What about you?
I thought Andre would win too. I think because, I mean, when you're talking like all-time recognizable like wrestling clips, just period, no matter when you grew up, Hogan scoop slamming Andre the Giant, like the Hogan Andre the Giant feud was like what makes like set wrestling larger than life for people. And I think that was also the time when a lot of wrestlers started breaking into pop culture. Yeah. Andre the Giant was incredibly recognizable for obvious reasons. Massive guy. He was in The Princess Bride, which is a movie a lot of people like. Haven't seen it. Judging by your face, I don't think you've seen it either.
I've never seen it.
It's probably overrated. Everybody quotes it all the time. Like, shut up about Princess Bride. And, my name is Inigo Montoya, and you killed my father. Now you must die. I don't know. That's whatever. I know the quote. Don't make me watch it. But Andre the Giant, like even like his face became like a brand. It was like so recognizable. And I think even like an actual clothing brand like Obey used like a portrait as like a logo. I don't know if they're still kicking.
Now, when we put it up to a vote on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram, who won this triple threat match?
Well, like you said, this one was not a runaway in any direction and stayed close. We saw a lot of votes for all the guys. The winner between Andre the Giant, The Big Show, and Braun Strowman, well, it was The Big Show. Dun, 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 dun. Surprisingly enough, The Big Show is moving on in our big monster matchup. Did the voters get it wrong? Do you disagree? This is definitely one that I think people might take issue with because of Andre the Giant's just legendary status. So let us know what you think. But we can't change the result now.
No. I was happy to see this.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, Big Show. I feel like he's always kind of been in Andre the Giant's shadow.
Yeah.
And to see him win in a silly poll that we threw up that just like made me happy.
Yeah, for sure. I think any three of these guys, I would not have been sad if they won. They're all very deserving and really talented for their size and stature.
For sure.
Yeah. So our other matchup then was number 4, Rey Mysterio, and number 13, Kevin Nash, who did battle quite a lot in WCW. Yeah. And probably even maybe had a match in WWE. They both maybe overlapped for a bit. Yeah. I'll kick us off here. I'm not a big Kevin Nash fan.
Okay.
And it's for like biased and subjective reasons. It's for me thinking I know more than I do. But like all the like click stuff, like him and Triple H and Shawn Michaels and Hall and X-Pac, like something just rubs me the wrong way when I think of like those guys just always like screwing other people over and like backstage and things like that. And of course there's like the legendary, this was WCW, but like the finger poke of doom, where like, and I don't know if it was Kevin Nash's choice, but he was up against Hogan and Hogan tapped him with a finger and pinned him, and they changed titles that way, and it was like a really big down moment for WCW. Although I did root for Kevin Nash when he finally was the first one to beat Goldberg, because then we were kind of getting tired of that. So there was times I rooted for Nash, but I really don't love him. He's a really solid big man though. Good in the ring. I don't have anything negative to say about that, other than just like my personal preferences. I don't like him. And Rey Mysterio was like one of those guys that I think the first time I saw him, I was like, I need to come back and watch this channel. I feel like I was a young kid and I happened to see a guy in a mask wrestling, and I didn't watch wrestling at that time, but I said, I want to come back. Is this on all the time? Can I watch this again? Because he's like a real life superhero when I loved Spider-Man and things like that. So to me, Rey Mysterio is an absolute legend. and I would go Rey Mysterio. I figured he would win, but our poll also here was fairly close. So
Yeah, it was pretty close. I am a Kevin Nash fan. I think partial biased. He worked at the same warehouse plant that my grandfather did. So when I was growing up, when my grandfather, he's since passed, but he would always ask us Kevin Nash, because he knew we were wrestling fans and they were like buddies. I think Nash owed my grandpa a pack of cigarettes. And then just being from his hometown, I went to a GCW show about a year ago, and Alex Shelley is the brother of one of my best friends ever, Bobby Martin. Shout out Bobby, what's up, dude? His brother is Alex Shelley, so I've hung with Alex Shelley a handful of times. Super cool dude. So we went to that show to see Alex Shelley. Kevin Nash was actually there, and he put Shelley over big time. He didn't wrestle, but he just had a segment on the mic, and he called Shelley the Picasso of the ring.
Wow.
And he introduced himself man, Nash, you are cool in my book. So I am a Nash fan for sure. I'm also a Rey fan, though I will say he was part of one of my least favorite storylines. The whole pandemic, when Buddy Murphy was dating Rey's daughter, and it was just week after week after week of we believe in family and loyalty and respect, Dominic. But I'll just chalk that up to bad Vince booking rather than Rey, because Rey, what can you say? He's an all-time legend, one of the best in-ring workers I've ever seen. Totally made that whole flippy-dippy style ring, the lucha, popular. So I would probably give the edge. Oh, it's so close for me. I would give the edge to Rey.
Only because Nash never paid up on those old cigarettes, right?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, then Nash, you owe us a pack of cigarettes or something equivalent.
Yeah.
So if you see this, just know, you can send it our way.
Hell yeah. So that's my thoughts. And then when the voting all came in, who is moving on to face Big Show?
Yep. Do we have another Goliath versus Goliath, or a David Goliath? The fans voted Rey Mysterio. Moving on over Kevin Nash. So we're going to get Rey against another big guy he had some famous matches with. Rey versus Big Show in the next round.